Sugarloaf Township resident Stanley Sypek won a bass fishing tournament on Oneida Lake and took the first prize, a boat valued at $56,000. For years, Sypek has been spending summers camping, often with his two sons Nathan and Jordan, along Oneida Lake, which is one of the Finger Lakes in central New York. So he had an advantage over many of the 197 other anglers who entered the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Northern Open on June 29th to July 1st. For anglers fishing for bass closer to home here in Pennsylvania, where the season started about a month ago, Sypek recommends doing what he does at Oneida Lake: practice. Learn the lake, experiment with different lures, find spots where the bass bite at different seasons and different times of day or night. David Kozlansky of the Leggett's Creek Bassmasters in Scranton said this time of year, when the days are hot and long, bass wait in the shade. He fishes for them beneath docks and under lily pads. Early mornings and early evenings, when the sun isn't so fierce, he expects bass to feed nearer the shore in shallower water. Jeff Smith, the Susquehanna River biologist for the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, said when he opens up a bass to notice what it's been eating, he mostly finds crayfish. Bass also will eat other fish, frogs, invertebrates such as mayflies and worms. Unlike trout, which perish in water warmer than 68 degrees, bass like warm water, as long as it contains enough oxygen for them, Smith said. This month, Smith is fishing with electricity, giving bass a non-fatal jolt from a backpack so he can study the young bass and compare disease rates with studies from other years. He and other researchers from state, federal agencies are starting to believe that the interplay of factors such as estrogen drugs poured down our drains, weed killers, pathogens, and parasites are causing the die-off of young bass and the abnormalities in adult bass, such as black spots and males that have female egg cells in their testes. When Smith takes off his electric backpack and fishes the conventional way in the Susquehanna, he casts crankbaits that he can reel back in and some surface plugs. But for those using natural bait, he recommends minnows and crayfish because of their prevalence in the diet of bass. Catch the crayfish where you fish, Smith recommends, to avoid transplanting the invasive rusty crayfish to waters where it isn't already established and can drive out the natural species. Sypek, meanwhile, said tournament rules don't allow natural bait, but on the last day of the Northern Open, when he was moving from 7th place in the standings to the championship, he used a jig that resembled a crayfish. Now that he won the Northern Open, Sypek can enter the James River Tournament in Virginia in August and the Douglas Lake Tournament in Tennessee in September. After that, he qualifies for the tournament that anglers call the Super Bowl of bass fishing. That's the Bassmaster Classic next March on Lake Hartwell in South Carolina.